of uh, study material regarding teaching and learning methods as far as physiology is concerned. So I think with this, I will conclude my talk, because assessment and other things will be explained by Dr. Kiran. I think with this, I conclude. Is that fine, Dr. Joshi?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. So you can unshare this screen.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. And thank you for a very lucid presentation as always. And we can move, but don't just go, because we want you for the interactions.
Sure,
Satyam
sure,
is also here, so last panel discussion we will conduct together. And
sure.
at this outset, one observation is ma'am's name, your name, and Kiran sir's, all the names starts from K. And the subject is also Kriya.
Yeah.
So what a coincidence.
So we were destined to be in this subject, right?
Yes. Before going ahead, I will share a very interesting story for all. A student of first year, he went to Kriya examination, and the question was asked. Teacher was in hurry. The question was asked, okay, tell me, recite Vata Dosh. So he suddenly started, and he was so impressed. He said, okay, bye. Then Ashtang Hriday, again same question. Recite Vata Dosh. So he cracked. Again went to Sanskrit. So there is one more chapter in Hitopadesh. Again he asked, okay, Vata Dosh. He explained and cleared the exam. So one question and he cleared 3 exams. So right now, here before we don't have this kind of opportunity. But right now we have this opportunity. So Kishore sir shared a slide in which everybody must be surprised कि Vata Dosh recitation, why it is for desirable to know. Okay. So Vata Dosh is in 3 subjects. It is in Sanskrit. So Sandhi, Vigraha, Paribhasha and Paryay is as a must-know part in Sanskrit. For Ashtang Hriday 12th Adhyay, there it comes as a must-know for recitation, understanding and types. And for Kriya, as it is the most apt place for Vata Dosh, the lower part is ignored. So nobody will ask to recite Vata Dosh in Viva. So that becomes a cognitive thing. No? So what sir was discussing was the practical. So practically they have to do something, learn something and understand something, explain something. So find the properties of Vata Dosh in one person. That can be an objective for Kriya. So this is how it is taken care, and based on this, some part is reduced from here. So this actually suddenly came as a classical example that how the thinking process is, why it is must know in Sanskrit, something that is must know in Sanskrit not needed to be must know in Samhita Adhyayan, and something that recitation is the domain for Samhita Adhyayan. So there it is mandatory. For Kriya, it may not be mandatory. For practical, for theory it may be. So this is the somehow thinking behind doing these shufflings afterwards. What do you think, Kiran? What do you think, Kishore sir? I think, sir, again. Okay, Kiran sir, continue.
Okay, sir.
Just a minute. You want to speak, but again.
Yes, precisely. I agree with what Dr. Mohan Joshi explained. In each subject, a same topic need not be must know, because in one subject, if it is must know, in another subject it can go as desirable to know and so on. And especially the mugging up of shlokas may not be possible for each student if he doesn't have any maybe exposure to Indian language. For example, if he is a foreigner and if you ask him to mug up the shlokas, it is very, very difficult. So maybe that is the reason why it has been kept as desirable. But yes, in other subjects, in Sanskrit, it may be, I mean, must know. This is what,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Kiran sir, continue. It's almost
425.
4:22.
Yes, 425.
4:25. So you have 20 minutes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. I will try finish in 20
Try to finish because
22.
most of the
Yes,
points
yes.
ma'am has already covered.
Yes, sir.
So,
No problem, sir.
yes.
I will
Take your
finish.
time.
Yes, sir. So I
Everybody
will
is
finish
here.
within time. No problem, sir.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, myself, Dr. Kiran Tawlare, Shri Ayurveda College, Nagpur, and I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Vaidya Jayant Dev Pujari sir, Chairman, NCISM, and Dr. B.S. Prasad sir, BOA, that is the Board of Ayurveda President. I also extended my thanks to Dr. Sharma sir and Jagannath sir. Okay, now I start my presentation. After completion of this session, participant or the faculty should be able to know, orient about the assessment method and just aware about the different kinds of assessment method, because it is not possible to explain the all assessment method and to distinguish correctly between the what is meant by formative and the summative assessment. Okay, this is assessment summary given in our syllabus or curriculum. This is table number 6A. All of you know very well. Total 400 marks. Then formative and the summative assessment, 3 periodic and 1 term, 3 periodic again 1 term, and 3 periodic, and last one is university exam. After that, calculation method for the internal assessment already explained by the Dr. Mohan sir, but I just give you one demo. Please, you can take a screenshot also. Okay, first just imagine in first term student gain 12 marks, second 10, third periodic 11 marks. That's why averaging is 11, and it should be converted into 30. Out of 30, it is 22. Then you will take a first term exam out of 200. Just imagine she or he score 160. It means out of 30, it is again 24. No, that's why 22 plus 24 is equal to 26, and again averaging it like that. Final internal assessment is 20, because we are averaging term assessment marks in column H, that is 23, 19, and 18 divided by 3, like that. Okay. Next one is evaluation method for the periodical assessment. There are a number of methods given in our syllabus. Okay, we will see. In short, if possible, if type permits. Then paper layout, paper 1 and paper 2, both layout are same. Like multiple choice question 20, each question having 1 mark, all questions are compulsory. Then short answer question 8, each question having 5 marks, that is 40 total. Long answer question, total 4, each question having 10 marks, that is again 40, total 100. Then distribution of the theory exam, paper 1. This is part A, that is Ayurvedic part. Okay, here we mentioned the topic wise mark distribution, and again one thing is mentioned here on what topic we can design the MCQ or ACQ or LAQ. It is also given in our curriculum. After that, question paper blueprint. For example, paper 1, there are the list of 20 topics. Each topic having 1 MCQ. Okay. One more thing, interesting thing is here. For example, here in question number 2, that is SAQ. Okay, 5 short answer question from the Ayurveda portion and 3 SAQs from modern portion. In case of question third LAQ, there are the 2 questions from Ayurveda portion and again 2 from modern portion. Okay. Next, this is again MCQ distribution for paper second, and this is question second. Here we can see easily from Ayurveda portion, that is part A, and only three SAQs from the, 4 from Ayurveda portion and 4 from a modern portion. In case of the long question, there are the 2 long questions from Ayurveda portion and again 2 from a modern portion. As we see, in case of the paper 1, there are the 3 long questions, but here 3 from Ayurveda portion and 1 from modern portion. Okay. Next is distribution of the practical marks. Total practical marks 200, as you know. Practical marks 100, Viva 70, and internal assessment 30. Then 10 marks for spotting. Okay, first spot is histology slides, and last spot is human experiment related, any spot. Next, Ayurvedic practical for 40 marks, and lab practical for 30 marks. Project work 10 marks, and practical record again 10 marks. This is how 100 marks for practicals, and Viva OC secure their 70 marks. Out of that, 20 for general Viva mostly based on Ayurveda, and 20 based on instrument, and again 10 marks for the part B, that is modern part. And recitation of the verses 15. Communication skill 5 marks. One participant now asked question, okay, how much time required for taking this Viva? Okay, I think we can distribute the things as per according to 2 examiners. First examiner take a 3 point, and second can take 3 points also. And finally, internal assessment is of 30 marks. Okay, assessment methods I explained very shortly within 15 minutes just. I know complete assessment method, explanation of complete assessment method task is about 2 hours, but it is not possible in this session. That's why I explained very shortly. What is assessment? Basically, assessment is the process of determining whether predetermined learning objectives have been achieved or not. We can decide on the basis of assessment method, predetermined learning objectives are achieved or not. Next, what is meant by assessment and evaluation? Basically, assessment is used to measurement of the learner's outcome, while we can use evaluation for measurement of the program or course outcome. This is the basic difference. But the purpose of assessment and the evaluation, that is assessment means formative assessment and summative assessment. We will see one by one. The purpose of assessment is increase the quality, while the purpose of evaluation is to judge the quality. This is the basic difference. Without assessment, if you think there is no need of assessment, then without assessment, if you don't know where you are going, you may end up somewhere else. And sometimes you face such a situation which is seen on your screen. Purpose of assessment for students and for teacher. There are the 2 aims of this assessment. For student, to direct the student learning to particular areas, to monitor the student progress, to motivate the student, to identify particular areas of deficiency is need of the remediation, to determine the final gradation. All these points must know for the student. But for the teacher, to identify the areas in which core itself is weak and report or can be improved as per your suggestion. Again, assessment, that is for learning, and assessment of learning. Assessment for learning means formative, and assessment for learning means formative, and assessment of learning means summative. We can understand this concept like that. When a chef tastes the soup, okay, that is formative assessment. And when this soup is tasted by a customer, we can say that it is summative, that is final assessment. Okay. That's why in a formative assessment, there is always scope to improvement. But in summative, you have to prove. The student have to prove. There is no scope for improvement. Choosing the right assessment method tool on the basis of which domain eval slot be to be tested. What is the purpose of your evaluation? Number of students. How many number of students you have to assess? Or feasibility as regards to time, resources, manpower, money, all that things. Okay, what should you assess? Basically, this is basic question. What should you assess? we assess three things already explained by Dr. Kishore sir: knowledge, skill, and attitude. Okay, these are the three domains. All of you know very well. How to assess the level of clinical competencies? This is very important concept. This is the Miller pyramids of competency. If you have to assess, see on the screen, please. If you have to assess the knowledge or knowledge domain or cognitive domain, then or you have to test the factual test, then go for MCQ, LAQ, SAQ, or essay type question something, and simple viva, not structured viva, simple viva. Okay. For gathering facts, we go for these tools, assessment tools. But if you have to assess the competency, that is know-how, that is understanding level of the student, in that case, you have to go for the problem-based MCQ, okay, MEQ, that is the modified essay question and structured viva. On the other hand, if you have to assess performance-based or procedural competencies of the student, in that case, we will go for the OSCE, simulation, long case, and short case. Okay, I will not explain all these things because I already explained this. These all things explained needs minimum 2 hours or 3 hours. Okay, then if you have to assess the direct actual performance assessment of the student, in that case, we will go for the WPBA, that is the workplace-based assessment. Under this workplace-based assessment, we will go for the mini CX, that is the mini clinical evaluation exercise, DOS, already told by Kishore sir, direct observation, procedural skill, 360-degree assessment, feedback, logbook, portfolio, video, and audit. These all assessment tools we will use, but according to our needs, according to student needs, and what we have to check at that level, we can decide our assessment method and tool also. Next one is LAQ and SAQ. When we use LAQ, very simple. When we explain to assessment of complex learning situation that cannot be assessed by other method, right? When you will check the learning skill, go for LAQ. Okay, but please remember that LAQ should be asked in divided manner, in structured manner. Okay, if you ask the one LAQ from 10 marks, so divide into 3, 3, 4 like that. Okay, SAQ have a better content coverage as compared to a long essay question. Okay. Next one is oral examination and viva. Oral examination are also commonly used for assessment, but there are some problems. Sometimes there are some biases and unreliable things happen in the viva. Okay, its validity and the reliability can be improved by making it more constructive or more objective with using the OSPE and OSCE, that is the objective structured practical examination or objective structured clinical examination. Next concept is simulation. I cannot explain the whole concept. I just give idea in brief. Assessment of the performance. When we go for the real condition, that is in vivo, and when we go for the standardized or the simulated condition, मीन्स यहाँ पे हम क्या करते हैं कि पेशेंट को बोलते हैं कि उसको ट्रेन करते हैं कि आपको ये डिसीज हुआ है, यहाँ पे आपकी वात वृद्धि के जो लक्षण है उसको असाइन करते हैं, लाइक। और जब कोई स्टूडेंट उसको एग्जामिन करेगा तो उस ढंग के वो आंसर करता है. ओके, दैट इज वेरी सिंपल. An individual trained to portray a specific patient, specific condition, and each standardized patient encounter is designed appropriate to the level of the training. Okay, then this is almost my last slide, which is very important. Workplace-based assessment. And please see on your screen. यहाँ पे x axis पे competency है और y axis पे consciousness है. तो सबसे पहले जब स्टूडेंट की कॉलेज में एंट्री होती है तो इट इज अनकॉन्शियस एंड ऑल्सो इनकॉम्पिटेंट. उसको नहीं पता रहता है कि हमको क्या करना है और कौन से गुण, कौन से एट्रीब्यूट, कौन से इनकॉम्पिटेंसीज एक्वायर करना है, राइट. देन आफ्टर सम मंथ और आफ्टर 1 year or after some month maybe on the when the teacher convey the message, what can the student do? Then student understand the consciously means student conscious and incompetence. मतलब अभी स्टूडेंट कॉन्शियस हो गए कि हमें क्या करना है, कॉन्शियस है, बट स्टिल दे आर इन इनकॉम्पिटेंस. थर्ड लेवल what do you think you did well? हाँ, अगर हम स्टूडेंट को पूछते कि आप अच्छा कर रहे हो, तो स्टूडेंट कॉन्शियसली कॉम्पिटेंस रहता है, मतलब कॉन्शियस होता है और कॉम्पिटेंसी भी अचीव कर लेता है. बट at the completion of course or at the completion of this program outcome, that is a graduate, student should be unconsciously competent. मीन्स अगर उसका ध्यान भी नहीं है तो भी अगर ऑपरेट कर रहा है या फिर ड्रेसिंग कर रहा है या फिर पंचकर्मा कर रहा है या सिंपल कोई भी थिंग कर रहा है, तो भी अनकॉन्शियसली इट शुड बी कॉम्पिटेंस. ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर हम कार ड्राइविंग की बात करते, तो कार ड्राइविंग स्टार्टिंग में हमें लगता है कि हम चला भी नहीं सकते और कॉन्फिडेंस भी नहीं होते, बट आफ्टर दैट हमको लगता है कि मुझे कार सीखना है, बट स्टिल वी आर इनकॉम्पिटेंट. But when we drive independently, in few days, in earlier days, we are consciously competent. हम धीरे धीरे चलाते हैं, कॉन्शियस होते हैं, कुछ सॉन्ग नहीं लगा पाते, कुछ भी नहीं, राइट? बट आफ्टर दैट, आफ्टर फ्यू मंथ, वी आर वेरी मच अनकॉन्शियसली कॉम्पिटेंट. ओके, दैट इज द वर्क प्लेस बेस्ड असेसमेंट. यहाँ पे आपको स्टूडेंट को डायरेक्टली ऑब्जर्व करना है. ऑब्जर्वेशन टाइम शुड बी लिमिटेड अप टू 10 to 25 minutes only. Okay, not more than that. After that, assessment summary. I think this is last slide. Why we are assessed? What is the purpose of assessment? First is formative or summative. You should decide what is the purpose of your assessment, and on the basis of your purpose, you think what competencies you have to check: knowledge, skill, or attitude. On the basis of that knowledge, skill, and attitude, using the Miller pyramid, you should be able to use a lot of assessment tools on the basis of your competencies. Knows how, shows how, and does. Okay. Fruit for the thought. A teacher always instructs students, but a guru constructs students. So let's be a guru for our students. Take home message. All assessment methods have limitations, and no assessment method can assess all type of knowledge and skill or any other domain. That's why use a mixed method that depends on the content of assessment. People are more important. Remember, please, students are more important than the measurement instrument. Instrumentalization नहीं होना चाहिए स्टूडेंट के साथ. Okay, words are more important than the score. Score हम कर रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. Okay, words are more important. अगर मैं बताता हूँ कि मुझे हेडेक है और हेडेक 10 पॉइंट में से 6 पॉइंट रिमेन्स है, तो इट इज नॉट अ गुड वर्ड. बट अगर मैं बोलता हूँ कि मुझे इतना रिलीफ है और कैसा लग रहा, तो इट इज मोर बेनिफिशियल फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द प्रॉब्लम. लाइक दैट. रिसर्च ऑन द आयुर्वेदिक concern, I would share, I have published 15 papers only on the research competencies. I just go for a second. Okay, first is a intelligent quotient on the basis of their prakriti. Second one is mnemonics, use of mnemonics in BMS students. It is very good paper. Contribution of the Ayurveda in the foundation of basic tenets of bioethics. Bioethics में Ayurveda का क्या role है? Next one is implementation of the new approaches to modify the education pattern in Ayurveda. Then need of the English in the Ayurveda curriculum. This is my first paper when I was very poor in English. I am today is also poor, but that day I am very poor in English. Okay. Comparative study of case-based learning. And for a third year student, this is a inquiry-based and case-based learning. Ancient teaching learning method, Guru Shishya Parampara. Role of Guru Shishya Parampara. Next one is Ayurveda education, need of the reluminization and expansion. Bloom's taxonomy and goal of the traditional education system insight from the Ayurveda. Here I explain the origin of the Bloom's taxonomy from the Ayurveda. Then ancient concept of the simulation, attributable to the Bloom's taxonomy in perspective of Ayurveda, simulation, paper on simulation. Then Nari Siddhi Pranayam on the concentration of the student. Cherkow's normative theories of ethics insight from the Ayurveda. Cherkow's normative theory. And need of multiple choice question, that is MCQ, in assessment criteria of the BMS curriculum. And you all of you see now this curriculum. Okay, they are in expert hand. This is last slide, and thank you. This is social message from my side. Do not cut the trees, because trees prevent the global warming. Okay, thank you very much, Mohan sir. I finish exactly in 20 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kiran sir. I welcome again Dr. Kalpana Sathe ma'am, Dr. Kishore Patwardhan sir, and Kiran sir. Please be here. And
Yes,
we
sir.
will not take direct questions. We will request participants to please write your question in the chat box. Sir, who is sharing the screen? I have a doubt why there is no internal assessment in theory. The question itself is quite confusing. Sir, can you just redirect this question? Why there is no internal assessment in theory? It is there, ma'am. So only the term names are changed. One is called as periodic assessment. There are 3, 3 and 3, 9 periodic assessment, and they will contribute in internal assessment. Okay, sir, I have elaborated that table, how to calculate, and it is given for 30 marks, how to calculate. So it is there. Why practical marks increased? That's a policy decision. I think you can write to sir why it is. So why that is a policy decision by council. So let's go ahead. Please unmute me. You can type, ma'am. Can we conduct Viva term and how we can assess to 15 marks? Viva term. Term Viva you have to conduct, ma'am. You have to conduct at the term test. You have to conduct the entire MCQ, SAQ, LAQ theory paper of 100 marks, as well as theory or practical of 100 marks as explained in the table 6H. So based on that, you have to conduct a whole 100 plus 100, 200 marks exam and convert it to 30 marks. Kiran sir?
Yes, sir.
So I'm giving
Yes,
this opportunity to participants. Those who really have a genuine question, they can unmute and ask the question. Please don't keep your microphones just open. If you have a question, then and then only we'll request you to unmute.
Hello, sir. I'm Dr. Andalakshmi speaking from Trivandrum College, Professor Trivandrum Ayurveda College. Can I ask the question? Hello.
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Okay, I have some specific questions related to physiology practically. Is histology really needed? Because that is actually included in an anatomy topic. Why is it is included in physiology practical? And certain things which are put as MK, that is must to know, is told in modern topics, but the hours which is given to the lecture and non-lectures hours are very less. I can give an example, like for CVS, you take the CVS portion, most of them are in MK, that is must know portion. But if you see the hours allotted, it is very less. And one Kala portion, which you have mentioned there, is actually, is it really needed in a first BAMS level? That's another question. And Dr. Uma, who is also a professor in
Ma'am, I think you are mute.
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Continue.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, I had this question and
You are again not audible, ma'am.
Together from Kerala chapters.
Yes, ma'am.
May I ask the question?
Yes, please ask.
Yeah. Myself, Dr. Pradna Dandekar. I am from Mahatma Gandhi Ayurveda College, Varga, which is the college of Dr. Megi Institute of Medical Sciences University. I have a doubt regarding that the assessment means while performing the periodic assessment, we include cognitive as well as psychomotor domain. Means that theory as well as practical assessment.
Is
we
it
take.
subject to the changes in the upcoming years?
Yes, ma'am.
We do the practical as well as theory assessment of the students, and all those marks, when we calculate as internal assessment, we directly add into the practical component. And in the practical component, we add this internal assessment marks. With this, the electives marks also get added in that component. So when we assess the practicals, there is the dilution of the assessment of the practical skill component, because here we are assessing the cognitive domain, and the marks of the cognitive assessment also we are adding in the skill component. So there should be the separate addition of internal assessment. When we assess the cognitive domain, that mark should be added in the theory component, and when we assess the practical domain, that should be added in the practical assessment. This is what is my question.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, in Kriya syllabus, there is no elective lecture first.
Yeah,
Then, in case of practical, practical having the 200 marks basically.
yeah.
That's why there is some scope. There is some scope to add internal mark in practical rather than theory.
But
That's
the
why
professional.
Kiran sir, I think
Yes, ma'am.
this is something related to the policy, and
Yes, sir.
we are just implementing whatever is explained in the MSc. So this is how it came in MSc. So based on that, these all modifications are done in this curriculum files. So probably you can write to sir, ma'am, that how it is affecting and actually what revocations it will. I think it is just one and the same thing. So it is just an overall assessment, and somewhere we need to add that component. It
Sir,
will be
but
difficult.
yes,
So,
difficult.
ma'am, I agree. I
Okay.
fully agree with whatever you are saying. You can write in the next reforms. Probably the council will take care of this. That's what we can say, because this is going out of purview of four of us, that how to answer your question.
Okay. Sir, and another thing, that real life experience, that method you have shared in the that way of teaching learning method, is it related to the community based learning?
It is related to anything, ma'am. For example, Samanya Vishya Siddhanta, you want to understand Samanya Vishya Siddhanta, it is actually in the life. So cause-effect relationship can be applied from molecular science to atomic science. So anywhere cause-effect theory will remain the same. So real life examples is something learning from the book, and it should not remain there. It should be in the practice. And whenever we correlate or say join the remaining dots with the previous knowledge. So students who are coming after the 12+ background, if they rethink the examples at their own from physics, chemistry, biology, botany, whatever they have learned till 12th science, that will be more reflective. So this is a more comprehensive understanding that they can generate. So based on that, it is added. It is not only in Kriya Sharir, it is in Rachana Sharir, Padartha Vidyan, as well as Sanhita Adhyan. Everywhere this point is emphasized based on the C, C, and D theory. So that is contextual, constructive. So constructive, the knowledge is constructed by the individuals. So constructivist theory is applied here, and based on that, these examples are given in almost all the subjects. Thank you.
And sir, IT
Can I
is,
ask one question myself, Dr. Chitnis?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
There is, I'm asking question about the points of syllabus, paper 2, part A, and topic 9, last portion. Identify histological structure, explain structure of different tissue in bracket dhatu. About this, I have asked a question in message box. Please read the question and please try to answer my question. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, sir. Myself, Dr. Guru. Can I ask the question?
My question is on the histology. You have, while designing the syllabus, you have included the histology in very short manner in the topic 8 for only one point. But I think the histology is an important topic, and previously it was belonged to the Kriya Sharir, then it shifted to the Rachna Sharir, and now Kriya Sharir and Rachna Sharir, both departments are not taking histology along. So this opportunity is given to the Kriya Sharir teachers to again deal with histology. In our practical syllabus also, we have not included histology anymore. So this point is an important point, as I think, which deals with the histology. So please explain to what up to what extent histology is included in this syllabus. Thank you.
Sir,
Sir,
I think.
Sir.
Yes.
Say, you have taught me this subject. So
Yeah.
probably you and Sathe ma'am both are here. You are my teachers. So probably who could be the better judge who have more than say 30 years of teaching experience in Kriya Sharir? You can
Right.
you can enlighten us, sir. No problem. What's your
When
thought
I
on
have
this?
thank you, Mohan. When I have first seen the syllabus, I have explained my colleagues that histology is included, and that is very nice. And I will going to teach the student the histology. It is not included in the practical, but I will make sure that my all students are going to see the slides and
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
so
Yes, sir. Thank you.
it is not possible for all colleges because histological slides are not available at each and every college. So I
Sir,
cannot.
they will. This is something that will create the opportunity to integrate. Rachna and Kriya may come together. There are very good opportunities. So gone are the days when the people were depending upon the physical slides. Now
Right.
there are online very many resources which can give even the real life experience of
Correct.
these kind of slides which we used to look from that microscope. But now with the changed technology and enhanced connectivity, we can avail these facilities. So thank you, sir. We can go to the next question.
Sir,
Thank you very much.
so can I ask question, sir? Myself,
Yes.
Dr. Guru from KLI Reward.
Sir, may I ask one question?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Guru, sir, continue.
Sir, very good evening, sir. Very good thoughts were there from all the authors. Thank you for that. Sir, my very one question is regarding the OPDs and the clinical screening OPD, what you given to us. So it is only for Prakriti assessment clinic for BMI and Prakriti assessment, or it's an consultant OPD you are going to us. Just little small confusion is there. If you clear that.
Sir, our question is again shifting from curriculum file to MSc. Probably you can directly communicate with Prasad, sir, and he'll get the first hand answer. Thank you.
Sir, there is no compulsion of screening OPD of Prakriti. If you want, you can, but give a chance to see the Prakriti on the patients.
Madam.
That's all. Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you.
May I ask one question, please?
Yes.
Namaste, sir.
Yes, Dr. Mangesh, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Mangesh, go ahead.
Mangesh, continue.
No, myself, Dr. Kiran.
Dr. Kiran, go ahead.
One more is there, sir. I will personally congratulate you to the efforts that you have done for the preparation of curriculum. But one question is there for practical feasibility. If you see the assessment of blood pressure, you have allotted only 4 hours. And for the assessment of pulse and NADI exam, you have allotted 10 hours. As far as my experience is concerned or other person's experience is concerned, more concentration should be done on blood pressure. Can the teacher is having any freedom to expand the time?
Sir, yes. Freedom, limited freedom within the standard deviation is available.
This means that you should you will observe or you will assess the protocol, what you call teaching program.
You have to make your own observations, and at the end of the year, you can inform the council that this took more time for teaching.
Almost 600.
So this was a very good activity.
Sir. No, sir.
Sir, these values are coming out
nobody is
experience
asking
of 10.
about the patient. Yes,
Sir,
sir. Yes.
Try to listen first. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Those who were in the committee, based on the consensus, these values are added here. There may be differences of opinion, but you can just write down and inform to the council whenever next revision will take place. Probably it will be very soon, so your feedback will be counted. That's what.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what is expected from all the teachers. Whatever your experiences are, you are free to share your experiences by the mail through proper channel. Thank you.
Morgan, shall I ask you one question?
Thank you.
Yes, yes, sir.
Dr. Morgan, are you?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk, first of all. And I wanted to congratulate you for hosting this event very nicely. Means just you the crux of the wheel on today. And almost all the questions are revolving around only one point. That is whether this syllabus or whether this MSc should not be changed forever or it can be changed within the upcoming years. If that's supposed the case, then only we can write the problems or the pros or the cons of that. Because already we are in the beginning years only, formative years only. If only we are making it to go for the execution, we will be coming to know at the end of the year that what is advantageous or what is not advantageous. Or some of the points seems to be very meritorious. Some of the point seems to be little bit murkier. That's what I wanted to know, sir. Whether it can be correctable. If at all it can be correctable, then where should I write or whom should we contact?
Sir, go to the NCISM website. If you want to contact Chairman, sir, Chairman's email is there. If you want to contact President, sir, President Board of Fire, sir's mail is also there. And feel free to communicate. Thank you.
And I do have only one more question, sir. That you people had mentioned questions to be asked from the specific topics in specific area. Usually, every state will be having a health university. Those health university people only will be taking care of setting the question papers. So, if any of the question setters are violating these norms or they are unaware of the rules, the students are subjected to such a question papers. What should be the remedy, sir?
Sir, again, this is the curriculum file. This is the MSc from the NCISM. Again, to follow it, to implement it, there will be the other competent authorities, bodies like universities, and they will decide. Probably this question will we will not take this question because it is out of purview of this curricular committee meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Sir, I'm Dr. Anjali from Government Ayurveda College, Kannur, Kerala.
Okay, ma'am. Last question from yourself, and probably we will be closing this session.
Okay, sir. I wish to ask, is it really necessary to incorporate histology in our syllabus? Because it is already teaching as a part of Rachana Sharira syllabus. And one more.
Have you seen the Rachana Sharira syllabus?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Joshi, may I answer this question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, actually,
I was waiting that somebody like Kiran or yourself can answer.
If you have gone through Rachana Sharira syllabus, just click Control F and type histol. Okay, you get histology, the term histology that appears in the Rachana Sharir curriculum 30 times, 30. And in Kriya Sharir curriculum, if you type histology, you get only two times this word. So that itself explains where histology is to be taught. So in Kriya Sharir curriculum, histology is there only as a spotters in maybe 1 or 2 slides you can keep. Otherwise, entire histology you are not supposed to teach. It is the duty of Rachana Sharir teachers to teach it, because in almost each and every topics they have included histology. The term histology appears 30 times in the Rachana Sharir curriculum, to clarify
Yes,
this.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So we are just expected to go through the histology, but not
Yes,
so
very
deep
yes,
into it.
very superficially. Exactly.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. One more question, sir. Self-assessment, topic
Yes,
number 7 or
yes,
8,
ma'am.
I think.
Yes, ma'am, I understand the question. Self-assessment means student itself or herself and doing that things at home, probably, or in library like that.
So if they say that, if he says that I have learned this, that is okay. We need not probe into that.
No, ma'am. Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I think it is like you have got several self-assessment questionnaires on Prakriti, for example. That is how I think it is what is meant by self-assessment.
It is a comment on Majjadhatu and bone marrow. That was the point given, a syllabus point given, and
Okay. A little confusing. Yeah, it is a little
that's
confusing.
why.
True.
Sir, only last question, sir, please. In practical final, on page number 70, the final exam for the practical examination. In lab practical, there is no mention of WBC, RBC and all that. Whatever the mention practical, that only we have to conduct.
WBC, RBC count, everything is there, madam. It is there in the curriculum.
There for formative examination,
but
not for
it is
summative.
only for formative.
Exactly.
Only
Means
for
it is
formative,
for term, it is there. For final, it is not there.
Yes, ma'am, it is correct, because today,
So we have to follow the guideline given by the.
Yes, ma'am. You have to follow this guideline, because today no one use this method for WBC, RBC and DLC. Okay.
Right. So that is important only for the second term only, not for the final examination, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, Dr. Sarita. Thank you.
Students must know that.
Sir, please, can we have any questionnaire for the Dhatu Sarada also, sir, like we are having for Prakriti?
You can develop,
Dr. Kishore sir. Dr. Kishore sir give better answer for Dhatu Sarada.
Dr. Kishore sir, this is Dr. Senthil Nathan from Government Ayurveda Medical College and Hospital. Already I raised 2 questions.
Hello. Yeah.
Can we have that?
Actually, one of the questionnaires on self-assessment questionnaire on Dhatu Sarata has been published by one of my colleagues actually. Professor Sangeeta.
No, sir, can we have any unanimous data?
So unanimous, it needs a lot of work. No, I mean, such questionnaires do not happen overnight. There has to be refinement and reassessment and revalidation, and this is a continuous process. But yes, you can start with something that is already available. It is there on PubMed. You can search for Dhatu Sarata. You will get the questionnaire that has been developed in our department. Yes.
Okay, then there will be the difference of assessment, no, sir, if we are following the different patterns for the Dhatu Sarada from the different colleges or for the different states. I request the council to just work on to that, sir. Just like that, you had people brought out the questionnaire or the assessment criteria for the Prakriti. If it's made it for Dhatu Sarada also, it will be well and good, sir. That's my suggestion.
Yes, sir.
We will convey your suggestion, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for listening to us.
All India Institute will happy to organize such seminar or such a Tadvit Sambhasha on SAR Pariksha tool formation.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, due to the time constraint, we are closing this session. You can feel free to write any of the expert. All the experts are with you, and you can keep on posting in your WhatsApp groups. So probably we will continue this discussion, and thank you all for joining on behalf of NCISM. We thank all the teachers for active discussions. Before leaving the room, you can just share some reactions if you wish, or share some chats as a feedback, and we'll close. Thank you. Thank you, Kishore sir. Thank you, Sate ma'am. Thank you, Kiran sir. And thank you all participants.
Thank you all the resource persons.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
everyone.
much.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you,
Joshi.
NCIM,
Thank
for
you.
giving this opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you a lot, sir.
बंद करो ना। हो गया मेरा। अरे बंद हो गया वो। अरे किसी मैंने कुछ